Greetings, guys and gals and geeks. Today, we're going to be continuing the Marvel reviewing series. Well, whatever day it is. I haven't finished editing these yet. But, nonetheless, today we're going to be talking about one of the second of the three biggest comic book movie character franchises of the late 90s and early 2000s. And, of course, that would be X-Men! This is probably one of my favorites. Of course, we all know, I only knew X-Men from the cartoons and the comic books, of course. And I have not seen the movies in a long time. I just watched them. I just watched the first one. And this, yes, as a stand, this thing doesn't open up, alright? It's a sheath case. Shut up. This is one of probably the better incarnations of these franchises. I mean, we all know about their crappy, inconsistent timeline, but this is the first movie, so I had no problem with that. The cast was really, really good. And of course, do I even have to talk about Wolverine? I mean, so many people have talked about how great that he was in this movie, and how a phenomenon Hugh Jackman became after this movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Deadpool said it himself. He's the sexiest man alive, and he's also the most badass man alive, so it makes sense to me. But I want to focus on the story itself, because it's probably where I get my biggest good things. Aside from a bit of the humor. But, I think but there are some problems. I think the one thing that I had a little bit of a kind of an interesting vibe towards is the fact that, hey, instead of Jubilee, we have Rogue, who we're gonna follow. The Southern Hot Belle, who's hotter than the sun in the summertime. She says all kinds of shit like that in the cartoon. But, anyway, the one thing about this movie that I thought was interesting is focusing more on her. Because, you know, she's kind of going to be our avatar, she's going to be new to the mutant phenomenon, not knowing what's going on, and learning more and more. Which I think kind of fits this character. I mean, that's kind of what Jubilee was supposed to do in the cartoon, but she got kidnapped all the goddamn time. Oh, God. Excuse me. Robin, edit this out. Never. So, this is back before things got, you know. But, nonetheless, it was still an interesting film to sit through, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The ending was actually legitimately shocking. I did not think they were actually going to make it. Even if I knew it was a movie, I was still like, oh my god, are they going to do this right? Are they going to do what they need to do to stop the villain? And they do. So, spoilers! It's not really that big of a surprise anyway. It's a superhero film. The villains always get destroyed by the superheroes. At least almost always. And this is probably one of the only Marvel movies where I don't really have that much else to say. I mean, of course, I guess I can talk about the three best characters, which I think we all know who they are. Now, Professor X, Magneto, and Wolverine. The characters that have been shown throughout X-Men lore ever times. Put it in the dictionary. I think the movie that fits my description of it, at least, is how they really did get the X-Men's mansion correct. They really did nail what they wanted to do. And that's what I wanted. That's the thing about comics book-related movies. You see it in the books, and you think, I want to see that in real life. I want to see that on the big screen. And that's what you get. And this movie does not disappoint whatsoever. And, of course, we have Professor X, who is incredibly, it's Patrick Stewart. You can't go wrong with Patrick Stewart. Magneto is funny, literally just because of his voice, but he's still intimidating as well, which is awesome. I really love his performance. He's probably one of the darkest villains, because, like, it's one of the only villains, because like we just got off of Blade last time, so seeing this villain being very intimidating and dark. Oh, Charles, you're still so naive. This kind of like he's bending Wolverine's bones and stuff. That's scary, and that's what I like to see. Cause in Blade, I praised this movie, but the one thing I did not bring up in its review was really, sadly enough, the villain was kind of crap. I know that's weird me saying that, but it's one of the one things that this Marvel film did not do right, and it was the villain. But as for this movie, it's still a very entertaining film with a very badass villain. Again, I'm going to bring up something before we get to Wolverine. Mystique. Why is she naked? Nobody knows. Who cares? I could care less at this point. Because, I'm a man. I can look at that and go, yeah, I can accept this. But nonetheless, the one thing everyone wants to talk about is, of course, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. His story is incredible. It's probably one of the more interesting takes on the character. And we can forget that X-Men Origins bullshit ever existed. And I know I'm probably going to do this, and I'm probably going to need to hunt down the DVDs. But I have seen most of these movies, so that's why I'm starting out with the first 3 that I own. And after these ones, I'm going to keep going. So, like, if there's a certain movie that I probably don't get to, it's because either I don't own it or I don't count it. And X-Men Origins is actually one of those things. I don't own the movie. I only own the video game. So, I probably won't be doing that one. But what else? What else can be said about that movie? But we're getting off track. So, overall, X-Men, I'd say I give it a thumbs up. I'd say a high marks here, a 4 out of 5 for me. It's a very good comic book movie. The characters are great. Even Cyclops, who in the comic books is one of the most hated characters in all of Marvel, yet still to this day he's still a good character in this. He made me smile the moment did this. There's a scene with, oh god, something for your bloopers. But this character had this specific scene with a kid who was looking at him with the visor. He didn't have sunglasses on. He had a visor like he does in the books, because that's what he would usually do. He would wear that, but he has that visor that he has there. If you can see that, it's very shiny. The light's reflecting off it too. That's kind of cool. Ooh. But there was a scene where the kid just smiled, and then they just communicate a little bit, and then the mother just carries him off. Because he's a freak, apparently. Because he has a cool set of glasses, he's a freak. I just don't get that. Nothing about that part makes sense. Stupid. But, nonetheless, like I said, 5 out of 5. Great movie. Great cast. Great effects. If you look at this scene when Wolverine's claws first come out, and then you look at it in X-Men Origins Wolverine, you will tell that this, which came before that, did the claws like 100 times better. This video is like 8 minutes long or 9 minutes long by now, and the original was like, what, a few minutes long? Not even that. So yeah, again, so if you guys do enjoy these, leave a like, subscribe, so you don't miss the next one, and of course, well, for one, I wanted to make this clear. Announcements, share these, alright? These specific reviews, share them. They're not getting as much views as they should, alright? This is fun. This is really, really fun for me to do, and I hope that you guys enjoy them as well. So, again, X-Men, great movie, 4 out of 5. That's what I'm giving it, at least. But what are your opinions on this movie? What are your opinions? Because I'd like to know. What did you guys think of this film? I'm just going to go ahead and put this away. What did you guys think of this movie? Do you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Did you think it was Leave your comments below of what you thought of the X-Men movie, whether you've seen it or not. And, of course, I think I have an interesting question. What's your favorite X-Men character?
It could be a hero, a villain, a member from the team, or someone randomly thrown off from the X-Men teams long before the show. No matter who it is, let me know in the comments. If I don't understand it, I'll probably ask you who the hell he is or research it on Google. But anyway, take it easy, my guys, gals, and geeks. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm really struggling to find a new outro.